I am Dr. Heather Moore, owner of Total Performance Physical Therapy. Tonight, we're going to talk about, is sitting or standing better for your back when you have back pain? And we get this question a lot, especially once the standing desks came out and the articles of sitting is the new smoking, and a lot of bad press came about sitting all day, which it should. It's not that great. But then everybody went to standing every day and was surprised when it didn't resolve all the issues. And there's treadmill desks, I know, and there's cycling desks, and there's all sorts of weird desks that I've seen. Honestly, I don't recommend any desk that moves. I've fallen off a treadmill being distracted, so I know I couldn't actually do any work and be on a treadmill. When I'm working out, I just want to work out. I just kind of zone out and do my thing. So I don't really recommend that treadmill because I think the risk of injury is really great. However, there is kind of a happy medium, and that's where you need to be. And it's not just at work, it's everywhere. You need to find that happy medium because neither sitting all day nor standing all day is ideal. So you want to make sure that you are doing a little bit of both. So when you are, let's talk about sitting. So when you're sitting, and let's say you're sitting like this, like everybody does, and you're all slouched, something like this, you're actually herniating your discs. All right, and you're putting some of the highest amount of pressure you can on your discs. So something as benign as sitting causes some numbness and tingling, can cause weakness, and you really have to be careful because it's not something that you're going to feel pain with. You know, a lot of times when you sit like this, we're able to sit like this for hours, and it's not until, unfortunately, we get older that we even feel anything. So you want to be aware of how you are sitting. It's really important. And I know everyone always wants to say, okay, so you sit up nice and straight and you have to be like this. Well, this is horrifically uncomfortable and no one's going to sit like this for very long. So you can't sit like this all day. You have to really get into that comfortable position. So when we talk about sitting, and it doesn't matter if you're in a work chair, in a couch is really not the best place to sit. You don't necessarily need a hard back chair, but the couch allows you to kind of fall in and really be in this position. Now your back's a little bit cradled in there, so it feels nice, but you're doing the same thing by herniating your disc, putting the pressure on your disc to kind of squirt out backwards, which will then cause numbness, tingling, weakness in your legs. And the only time you really start to feel that is when it's actually occurring. So sitting like this isn't something you're going to have a precursor of pain. You're just going to start to feel numbness and tingling. So when you sit, you just want to roll your shoulders up, back, and you want to drop them down. You want to be nice and relaxed when you sit. You don't want to sit very rigid. You don't want to sit up really tall because it's really going to be taxing on your shoulders. It's going to make your back pain, have a lot of pain in it, and you don't want that. You want to be able to be in a comfortable position. So a lot of times people say, oh, I have to have this lumbar roll. Well, that's a good idea so you have a back support. You want to have something where you can lean back on, not necessarily so you're like this, okay? But this is a little bit too far, but you want to have your back supported because you want to make it comfortable for you. You don't want to be sitting in a chair like this. Now, one of the things that you can do when you're sitting is you can drop a leg, which is actually going to pull your pelvis forward and make this position easier to be in. Now, what I always say is you really want to fidget. That is the biggest thing you can do. Sitting still, standing still is not good. And if you've ever seen me in the clinic, even doing these videos, I move around a lot and I talk with my hands and I move my body, and this is me all day. I very rarely sit, and I very rarely sit stationary, and I very rarely stand stationary. My muscles are constantly moving. They're constantly getting fluid into them, so that way they're able to stay nice and loose, and they don't get a lot of pain. So that's one of the things that you really have to take note of is regardless of whether you are sitting or standing, you want to move. Now, I don't recommend you stay in any posture for more than a half hour. I don't care if it's sitting, I don't care if it's standing, I don't care if you're at home, I don't care if you're at work. Getting up is really important. So there is not that perfect position. It's more of a change of position every 30 minutes at most. If you are suffering with back pain, you have numbness and tingling on your leg, you're limited to 15 minutes at most. And a lot of people say, well, I can't take a break. I'm not asking you to take a break. I'm just asking you to change your position. Now, maybe you have a desk, that you can put on a lever and you can lower it so you can sit down. But it's really important that you make the appropriate changes so you're able to move every 15 minutes or every 30 minutes. Like I said, 15 minutes, you want to move every 15 minutes. If you have some sort of back pain, you want to move every 30 minutes if you don't have any back pain, but you're just looking to keep a healthy back. So when you stand, same thing. You want to make sure that your knees are nice and locked out. They're soft, okay? So if you straighten them out all the way and then you unlock them, so to speak, that's how you want to stand. You want to make sure that your butt is not sticking out, and a lot of people stand with their butt out. Now, if you can do this in front of a mirror, you'll see a big curve in your back if you're sticking your butt out, okay? So you actually want to start to tuck that under. This is the challenging part with standing, is that if you are someone who really sticks their butt out, you're actually going to have to work a little bit to tuck that pelvis under in order to be able to maintain a good solid back position. And it actually is going to feel like you're stretching your back muscles a lot. Once you get over this and once you retrain your muscles, it's going to become a little bit easier, but you definitely don't want to be someone standing here like this. Again, you're really causing some disc herniation in this kind of posture where you're standing backwards. You want to make sure that this spine is nice. There might be a little curve, and that's fine, but you don't want to have your butt sticking out, all right? You want to make sure your knees are unlocked. Again, your shoulders, you want to be up, back, drop them down. The one thing you need to understand about sitting and standing postures is your head is going to dictate and your eyes are going to dictate a lot about where your entire body goes. So if you're working on a computer and it's down here, or you're working on your phone and it's down here, you're not going to have good posture, okay? I don't care what you say. If you're down here for 15 minutes, your body is going to follow your eyes. So if your eyes are up, here's your monitor, here's your phone, here's whatever you're doing, you're much more likely to stay in that nice posture because your eyes are there. The minute the eyes start to drop, the head goes, and then the rest of the body goes. It's inevitable. I've had many people try and argue with me, but it happens. So you really want to make sure that your monitor, your phone, whatever you're reading is up here, eye level, so that way you don't collapse on yourself. You don't collapse into this rounded posture, which is going to cause neck pain, back pain, headaches, numbness and tingling, all that good stuff, or not so good stuff, as we should say. So when it comes to sitting or standing, if there's one that you feel more comfortable in, if you are suffering from back pain, one may be a little bit easier for you to maintain. Stay in that one for 30 minutes and then switch to the other one. You don't want to make a permanent change to standing. You don't want to make a permanent change to sitting. Neither one of those things is good. It doesn't matter if you're working. It doesn't matter if you're at home. When you collapse on the couch at night after a long day of work, you don't want to stay there for the next 2 hours. I know it's a pain in the butt, but you need to find reasons to move. You need to find reasons to get up. It's really important. Honestly, a recliner is one of the best things you can have in your house because it does actually support you in a pretty good position, and it supports your neck, it supports your back. I know sometimes they're not the best looking, but they're really important to have that, especially if you suffer from that neck pain, headaches, shoulder pain. That will support your back. You don't want to sit in a nice stiff chair. That seems to be a popular thing to do. Again, everything's just going to get tired and you're going to just wind up slumped over because your shoulder blades are going to start to burn. Your low back's going to start to burn. So it's really important that you make sure that every time you're either sitting or standing, that you're changing that position at least every half hour. If you don't have back pain, every 15 minutes if you do. And when you're in those positions that you're shifting around, you're moving, you're not just static, you're not just glued to a screen, your head's not down, that's going to cause a lot of pain in your neck and in your back. If you are suffering from neck or back pain and you would like a free consultation with the doctor of physical therapy, all you have to do is call 215-997-9898 and we'll be sure to get you in. Thanks and have a good night.